Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel where we geek out over gear that goes bang. Today we're cracking open the SIG Sauer Vault and pulling out 15 absolute bangers that have earned their stripes from sandbox to steel targets. These aren't just guns. They're the reason pros sleep easy and weekend warriors keep coming back for more. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, because we're about to run through classics, fresh drops, and everything in between without the fluff. Let's roll. Dive into the world of premium 1911s with the SIG Sauer 1911X stainless, a stunning fusion of timeless John Browning genius and cutting-edge SIG innovation that turns heads on the range and dominates in competition. Launched in 2024 as the crown jewel of the 1911 X series, this beauty emerges from SIG Sauer's legendary American craftsmanship. Think the same reliability trusted by elite military units, top-tier law enforcement, and discerning civilians globally. Now supercharged through an in-house synergy with SIG Electro-Optics for seamless red dot integration that feels almost futuristic on a century-old platform. Picture a full-size beast that's optics-ready right out of the box, blending heirloom aesthetics with race gun performance. Perfect for IPSC matches, steel challenge showdowns, or simply elevating your weekend, plinking into something profoundly satisfying. At its core, you've got a 5-inch match-grade barrel nestled in an 8.7-inch stainless steel frame, tipping the scales at a recoil-taming 41 ounces unloaded, while still sliding effortlessly into a duty holster. The 8+1 capacity of hard-hitting .45 ACP keeps you in the fight, and that extended 6.5-inch sight radius delivers laser-like precision whether you're punching paper at 25 yards or threading needles in low-light drills. What truly sets it apart? The X-Series slide boasts factory-milled cuts for ultra-low profile footprints like the Shield RMSC. No clunky plates needed, paired with blazing XRAY 3-day/night sights that glow like runway lights from dawn till dusk. An M1913 rail bags for a weapon light, ambidextrous extended safeties welcome southpaws, and a beefy slide stop plus detachable magwell make reloads buttery smooth under pressure. Grip it, and those custom-locked G10 checker panels with laser-etched veining lock your hand and like it was molded for you, while the bead-blasted stainless finish shrugs off corrosion, scratches, and the inevitable range rash. Drop in a Romeo X compact optic with its aspheric lens and rock-solid beryllium flexure system, and you're staring down a distortion-free sight picture that laughs at parallax. Trigger? A crisp, flat-faced masterpiece that breaks like glass. Priced at a confident $1,499, it squarely plants its flag in a high-end arena, yet undercuts loaded rivals like certain Kimber or Springfield customs that demand even more for similar bells and whistles. Night sights, premium grips, and direct mount optics all included, no upcharge nonsense. Market-wise, it's a darling in hotbeds like Manhattan, Greater Los Angeles, and Houston, where competitive circuits and hardcore training academies can't get enough of its out-of-the-box readiness. Strengths? Unmatched factory polish, limitless customization potential, and that iconic 1911 single-action sole, now turbocharged for the red dot era. It eats recoil for breakfast thanks to the hefty frame, runs like a sewing machine, and looks drop-dead gorgeous on the safe. Downsides to keep it real. The premium tag can sting for first-timers when a bare-bones Colt lurks nearby. Optic compatibility locks you into specific footprints, adapters required otherwise. That .45 kick still thumps despite the mass, and the 41-ounce heft might wear out smaller statured shooters during marathon sessions. Still, for anyone chasing a do-it-all 1911 that bridges heritage and high-tech without compromise, the SIG Sauer 1911X stainless isn't just a pistol. It's a statement, heirloom in the making, and your ticket to owning the firing line. Step into the ever-evolving AR-15 universe with the SIG Sauer M400 Tread, a rifle that doesn't just join the party. It rewires the whole game with new Hampshire-born precision, Swiss-German DNA, and a modular sole that screams, "Make it yours." Dropped in 2018 as the flagship of the Tread lineup, this mid-length marvel fuses in-house SIG wizardry with Magpul's battle-tested ergonomics, creating a platform that's equal parts entry to expert gateway and endless tinkerer's dream. Whether you're ringing steel at 500 yards, threading tight CQB corners, hunting dawn whitetails, or stacking trophies in 3-gun, the M400 tread arrives ready to rumble and begging for upgrades. Stretch it to 33 inches or collapse to a nimble 29.5, and that 16-inch stainless barrel, twisting 1:8. Laughs at bullet weights from featherlight 55-grain plinkers to heavy 77-grain OTMs, all while the mid-length gas system tames recoil into a polite nudge. At 6.75 pounds unloaded, it dances in your hands yet plants like concrete for follow-ups, delivering sub 1.5 MOA groups that make budget rifles blush. The direct impingement heart beats clean behind a low-profile block, feeding through 70-75 T6 receivers cloaked in hardcoat armor. Slap on whatever your mission demands via the featherweight MLOK handguard, lights, lasers, grips, or a stubby bipod, without breaking a sweat. Grip the Magpul SLK stock, dial it to your frame, and revel in ambidextrous everything. Safety, mag release. Even the charging handle plays nice for lefties. Pull the single-stage matchlight trigger, crisp 5.5-pound brake, and watch holes cluster like they're magnetized. Top it with anything from a $50 red dot to a $2,000 LPVO on the full-length Picatinny, or dive into the tread ecosystem for tool-free flip-up irons, a snarling 3-chamber compensator, or threaded muzzle toys that install faster than your buddy can say free float. At $951 Street, it storms the mid-tier castle and plants a SIG flag right between budget brawlers and 4-figure flexers. Think Daniel Defense or BCM asking $1,500 plus for comparable stainless tubes and refined controls, yet hands you factory ambidextrous bliss, MLOK real estate, and that silky trigger without the upcharge dance. It's blowing up shelves in shooter meccas like Houston, Dallas, Phoenix, Orlando, and even Philly's urban ranges where weekend warriors and PRS hopefuls alike worship out-of-box accuracy. Strengths? Bulletproof reliability, upgrade path deeper than your parts bin, and value that punches way above its weight class. Recoil stays civilized, parts swap like Lego, and the stainless barrel shrugs off thousands of rounds while keeping groups tight. Downsides for full transparency. That $951 tag still stings harder than a $600 Ruger for absolute newbies. The proprietary barrel nut and pin gas block play hard to get with some drop-in rails. We're diving deep into the living legend that is the SIG Sauer P226, the Wonder 9 that turned heads in the 1980 XM9 trials, stole the hearts of Navy SEALs as the 25 Malawian Quatches, and still rules the roost when duty calls for a pistol that simply refuses to quit. Born from that Swiss-German dream team of SIG and JP Sauer and Sohnbach in 1980, prototyped in Europe, stress-tested in the deserts of Yuma, and finally hammered into perfection at SIG's New Hampshire headquarters, the P226 isn't just a handgun. It's a battle-proven icon that blends old-world craftsmanship with combat-grade grit. Whether you're a Tier 1 operator clearing rooms, a uniformed officer walking the beat, a USBSA ace-chasing grandmaster, or a civilian who demands the absolute best for home defense, this all-metal masterpiece delivers 15 plus 1 rounds of 9mm parabellum with the kind of reliability that turns skeptics into believers. Stretch it to 7.7 inches overall. Tip the scales at a recoil-soaking 34 ounces with its 70-75 T6 alloy frame and nitron-coated carbon steel slide, and feel the perfect marriage of concealable footprint and rock-steady platform. Draw, transition, double tap, repeat, all day long without your wrist crying uncle. That 4.4-inch barrel with a 110 twist spins everything from 115 grain range fodder to 147 grain subsonic hush puppies in a sub 2-inch groups at 25 yards, while the short recoil lock breech system cycles smoother than a hot knife through butter. Grip the legendary E2 polymer panels with aggressive front strap checkering, and your hand locks in like it was molded there. Flip the decocker, watch the hammer drop safely, then enjoy a 10-pound EA first pull that melts into a glassy 4.4-pound SA brake. Pure poetry in motion. Low light? SIG Light Night sights glow like runway beacons. Need a weapon light or laser? The integral Picatinny rail is begging for it. Want to go Legion level? Swap in a short reset trigger, flat-face skeletonized hammer, or G10 grips in minutes. At $1,099 Street, plants its flag in the premium 9mm arena, yet undercuts all-metal rivals that flirt with $1,500 while embarrassing polymer wonders like the $550 Glock 17, with superior ergos, natural pointability, and a service life measured in decades, not thousands of rounds. It's flying off shelves in operator hubs like Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Houston, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, and San Diego, California, where SEAL teams, SWAT vans, and serious civilian trainers know the difference between good enough and gold standard. Strengths? Bulletproof DA/SA system that's drop-safe and idiot-proof. Modularity that rivals custom shops, and a trigger that spoils you for anything else. The alloy frame eats recoil for breakfast. The Nitron finish laughs at salt water and sweat, and accuracy stays surgical even after 50,000 rounds. Downsides, because honesty matters. That $1,099 sticker can scare off newbies when a polymer striker gun costs half as much. Aftermarket parts often demand SIG-specific love. Third-party holsters and mags sometimes need fitting. The all-metal mass means muzzle flip pops during rapid strings, and 34 ounces will remind your pinky after a 500-round carbine-to-pistol transition class. Still, for anyone who refuses to compromise on legacy, longevity, or sheer shootability, the SIG Sauer P226 isn't merely a pistol. It's a rite of passage, heirloom in the making, and the one gun you'll trust when the balloon goes up and everything else is just noise. Let's rip the lid off the SIG Sauer MPX, the 9mm beast that stormed the scene in 2015 like a suppressed hurricane, instantly earning the MP5 killer crown and rewriting the PCC playbook with AR-style controls, short-stroke gas piston magic, and a modular sole that laughs at one-size-fits-all. Forged in SIG's New Hampshire crucible, where Swiss-German OCD meets American audacity, this closed-bolt, rotating bolt marvel was born in 2013 to dominate room-clearing ops, 3-gun side matches, USPSA PCC division, and your backyard plinking sessions, all while whispering through a cam like it was born for NFA life. Picture a 16.9-inch collapsed Ninja that stretches to 25.6 inches when duty calls, cradling an 8-inch cold hammer-forged carbon steel barrel that turns 115 grain range candy into 147 grain subsonic hush puppies with sub-2-inch groups at 25 yards and beyond. The short-stroke piston tames recoil into a kitten's purr, cycling 30+1 rounds smoother than a hot blade through butter, while the 5.5-pound 7075 T6 aluminum frame keeps weight down yet soaks up whatever's left of the 9mm kick. Grip it, and those familiar AR-15 contours, ambi bolt catch, reversible mag release, and charging handle. Welcome lefties and righties alike. Slap on whatever your mission demands via the full-length monolithic upper Picatinny and sleek MLOK handguard. Red dots, LPVOs, offset irons, surefire lights, or a stubby foregrip, without adding an ounce of bloat. Pull the Timney co-designed single-stage trigger and feel the difference between good and addictive. Need a 4.5-inch CQB pipe or a 16-inch DMR wand. Swap barrels in minutes. 1.357 SIG or 0.40 S&W. SIG's got the drop-in kit. Running suppressed? The piston shrugs off back pressure where blowbacks choke. At a confident $1,800 street, it plants its flag in the premium PCC penthouse, yet undercuts $2,500 B&T APC-9S and $1,100 CZ Scorpions while embarrassing $600 Ruger PC blowbacks with piston refinement, trigger bliss, and true suppressor host DNA straight from the factory. It's flying off racks in tactical meccas like Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Las Vegas, Nevada, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Austin, Texas, where SWAT vans, competition podiums, and home defense safes all swear by its out-of-box perfection. Strengths? Closed rotating bolt for zero gas to face, piston-driven cleanliness that runs 10,000 rounds between scrubs, quick change everything, and accuracy that turns steel plates into Swiss cheese. It's NFA-ready, SBR stamp friendly, and grows with your wallet via SIG's ecosystem. Downsides, because truth, that $1,800 sticker can spook newbies when a $600 blowback works. Proprietary bolts and barrel nuts play hard to get with random aftermarket rails. Grab SIG parts or the special wrench. Ultra-quiet can sometimes need a lighter recoil spring dance, and 5.5 pounds will remind your shoulder after a 1,000-round carbine course. Welcome to the SIG Sauer P320, the modular master that crashed the striker fire party in 2014, snatched the U.S. Army's M17/M18 contract in 2017, and turned every other duty pistol into a one-trick pony with a single stainless FCU that swaps frames, slides, and barrels faster than you can say reconfigure. Hammer forged in SIG's New Hampshire lair where Swiss-German perfectionism collides with Yankee ingenuity. This polymer-framed phenom isn't just a handgun. It's a Lego set for grown-ups who refuse to choose between full-size duty beast, compact carry king, or subcompact pocket rocket. Stretch the full size to 8 inches overall. Tip the scales at a featherweight 29.5 ounces with its nitron-coated stainless slide and high-strength polymer grip module, and feel the sweet spot between all-day, holster-friendly, and recoil-eating anchor. That 4.7-inch carbon steel barrel spins 115 grain plinkers to 147 grain hollow points into 1-inch clusters at 15 yards, feeding 17+1 rounds through a striker system that's smoother than a Glock's and twice as adaptable. Grip the textured, undercut X-Series polymer shell. Swap to small, medium, or large in seconds. Then thumb the ambidextrous slide stop and watch the flat-face 5.5-pound trigger break like glass. Low light? SIG Light night sights glow like tritium runway lights. Need a can or a light? The Picatinny rail is ready. Want a threaded barrel, optics cut, or carry bevel slide? SIG's exchange kits drop in tool-free, keeping you legal from California to New York without buying 3 separate guns. No manual safety, just a trigger tab and firing pin block that pass every drop test on the planet. At $649 for the Nitron Compact Street price, it body slams the $550 Glock 19 with true modularity, undercuts the $1,099 all-metal P226 while borrowing its DNA, and laughs at $400 micro compacts by delivering big gun ballistics in a mid-size package. It's dominating shelves in military hubs like Portsmouth, New Hampshire, San Antonio, Texas, Tampa, Florida, and Phoenix, Arizona, where cops, soldiers, USBSA shooters, and CCW permit holders all chant the same mantra. One FCU, infinite pistols. Strengths? Lego-level reconfiguration that grows with your mission, striker reliability that's eaten desert sand and still runs, and ergos so natural you'll forget you're holding polymer. The Nitron slide shrugs off holster wear, the trigger spoils you for life, and accuracy stays surgical from 3 yards to 50. Downsides, because real talk, $649 still stings harder than a $400 shield for absolute rookies. Early 2016 drop fire rumors, fixed in 2017, still haunt Google searches. Proprietary FCU means most aftermarket frames need SIG blessing, and polymer snap feels sharper than alloy frame classics during 200-round mag dumps. Plus, 29.5 ounces can drag on tiny frames after a 4-hour class. We're unleashing the SIG Sauer CROSS PRS, the PRS beast that's been clawing its way to the top of the bolt gun food chain since its 2022 debut, evolving the lightweight 2019 Cross into a 14.2-pound steel-sheathed juggernaut forged in New Hampshire's fires where Swiss-German exactitude slams into American grit, delivering sub 0.5 MOA clusters that make steel sing at 1,000 yards and beyond. Built for PRS warriors, NRL positional aces, backcountry trophy hunters chasing elk at ethical extremes, and anyone who treats their rifle like a scalpel rather than a sledgehammer. This folding frame phenom shrugs off the $2,500 production division cap, while packing match-grade DNA straight from the box. No custom shop detours needed. Stretch it to a bench rest ready 45.5 inches, or collapse to a backpack-friendly 34 for those dawn glassing sessions. And feel the heavy contour 24-inch stainless 5R rifled barrel hurl 140 grain LDMS past 2,600 frames per second with the kind of surgical precision that turns wind calls into afterthoughts. All fed through a slick short-stroke 3-lug bolt and detachable 10-round AICS mags that cycle like they're greased with unicorn tears. The 7075 T6 aluminum receiver, Cerakote Elite Gray for that stealth concrete vibe, anchors an 18-inch free float MLOK handguard with a full-length steel ARCA rail begging for your Harris bipod, Spartan tripod, or rear bag, while the steel-reinforced chassis, upgraded from alloy for rearward heft, dials in perfect balance with a center of gravity, kissing the action for buttery transitions from prone to barricade, without the muzzle dipping like a drunk uncle. Grip the weighted PRS-style pistol panel with its ambi-thumb rest and thumb-actuated safety. Then nestle into the fully adjustable folding stock. Length of pull, cheek riser, cant, even a bag rider for sandsock stability, and watch the 2.5 to 4.5 pound two-stage matchlight trigger shatter like fine china for those subsonic follow-ups. Threaded 5/8 by 24 muzzle, can ready for your SLH suppressor to whisper through berms. Optic, 20 MOA pick rail screams for a Vortex Razor or Night Force ATACR. Caliber swap to .300 Win Mag or even .277 Fury. AR compatible barrel, nut says yes, tool-free in under 10 minutes. At a razor-sharp $2,499 MSRP that hugs the PRS budget like a second skin, it storms the production class castle and topples the $1,600 Ruger Precision with superior steel construction, seamless ARCA integration, and factory-tuned ergos that'd make a $3,500 accuracy international sweat, while leaving the $1,800 Bergara HMR Pro in the dust for modularity and out-of-box readiness. Think endless aftermarket love via MDT chassis swaps or proof barrels without voiding that lifetime warranty. It's scorching sales charts in PRS hotbeds like Boise ID's high desert ranges, Las Vegas NV's match meccas, San Antonio TX's tactical academies, and Manchester NH's backyard SIG faithful, where competitors and varminters alike hoard it for its one-gun garage queen appeal in a sea of semi-custom compromises. Let's dive into the SIG Sauer M400, affectionately known as the tread among shooters. A rifle that takes the timeless AR-15 blueprint and injects it with Swiss-German precision straight from SIG's New Hampshire factory. Launched in 2018 as the flagship of the tread lineup, it's built in-house with seamless magpul integration, making it the go-to choice for enthusiasts, competitive marksmen, and hunters who demand a carbine that's upgradable, dependable, and ready for the range, the field, or home defense. Compact yet balanced, it stretches to 33 inches with the stock extended and collapses to a nimble 29.5 inches, while its 16-inch stainless steel barrel, twisted at 1:8 for 5.56 NATO, locks in stability for everything from 55 to 77 grain loads. The mid-length gas system delivers buttery smooth cycling and tames recoil across a full 30-round magazine, plus one in the chamber, and at just 6.75 pounds unloaded with rugged aluminum receivers. It soaks up punishment without turning into a boat anchor during dynamic movement. What really sets the M400 apart is its thoughtful, user-first design, a proven direct impingement setup paired with a low-profile gas block for unflinching reliability, a featherlight MLOK handguard that invites accessories without adding clutter, and rock-solid 7075 T6 aluminum construction finished in hardcoat anodizing to shrug off scratches and corrosion. Slide into the adjustable Magpul SLK stock for a custom fit. Flip ambidextrous controls, including a reversible safety, with either hand, and pull the crisp 5.5-pound matchlight trigger that consistently prints sub 1.5 MOA groups. Optic ready out of box with a full-length Picatinny rail and threaded muzzle. It plays nice with tread-branded sights, compensators, and beyond, all while staying strictly semi-auto compliant. Priced at an MSRP of $951 for the base tread, It carves out a sweet spot in the mid-tier AR market, delivering premium stainless barrels and refined ergonomics that leave budget options like the $550 Ruger AR 556 in the dust, yet undercuts high-end rivals from Daniel Defense or BCM that easily crest $1,500. That value proposition has fueled strong sales in hotbeds like Houston and Dallas, Phoenix, Orlando, and Philadelphia, cementing its reputation as a serious contender for anyone who wants more than entry-level without breaking the bank. We're locking in on the SIG Sauer P210 target, the modern resurrection of what many call the Swiss jewel of handguns. Born from the iconic Swiss Army P210 legacy, but hand-built in SIG's New Hampshire shop with that unmistakable Swiss-German obsession for perfection. This 2018 release is an in-house masterpiece tuned specifically for competitive shooters, die-hard collectors, and anyone who treats the range like a cathedral of accuracy. At 8.5 inches long, 5.6 inches tall, and a slim 1.6 inches wide, it feels like an extension of your hand. Elegant yet rock solid. The 5-inch carbon steel barrel, twisted 110 for 9mm parabellum, feed from a single stack 10 plus 1 magazine and drop sub 1-inch groups at 25 yards like it's showing off. Tipping the scales at 36.9 ounces with a full steel frame and slide. It soaks up recoil, so while you'll swear the gun's whispering follow-up after every crisp shot, making it a bullseye beast for precision disciplines without wearing you out too fast. What elevates the P210 target to legend status is its buttery single action, only trigger breaking a clean 4 pounds, smoother than most custom jobs. Wrapped in a corrosion-proof nitron-finished stainless steel body and crowned with checkered walnut grips that lock your hand in place like fine furniture. Adjustable fiber optic target sights dial in windage and elevation with surgical ease. The extended beaver tail lets you ride high without hammer bite, and a frame-mounted safety keeps everything match legal and deliberate, skipping the striker-fired hype for timeless reliability. You do get an optional Picatinny rail for a light if you must, but this pistol prioritizes pure target simplicity over tactical Christmas tree builds, staying strictly semi-auto compliant. Now, at an MSRP of $1,799, the P210 target sits unapologetically in the premium 9mm target realm, leaving $600 polymer Glocks coughing in the dust with its all-steel craftsmanship, edging out $1,200 CZ75 Shadows with a trigger that feels like melting butter, and flirting with $2,500 custom 1911 territory without the gunsmith waitlist. That blend of match-grade DNA and heirloom quality has ignited demand in precision hotspots like Portsmouth, Houston, Phoenix, and Vegas, where paper targets fear its name. Of course, perfection has a price. The hefty tag scares off casual plinkers who'd rather grab a $500 S&WM and P9. The single-stack mag caps you at 10+1 for any defensive daydreams. And the limited rail real estate says no to gadget overload. Plus, that 36.9-ounce all-steel frame, while a recoil-taming gift, can tire smaller shooters or anyone used to featherweight polymers during all-day matches. The SIG Sauer P365, the pint-sized powerhouse that flipped the concealed carry world upside down and earned the street name Micro Beast for good reason. Forged in SIG's New Hampshire lair with that signature Swiss-German DNA fused to American grit, this 2018 in-house marvel was engineered for everyday heroes, civilians rocking appendix carry, off-duty cops needing a backup, and even IPSC shooters who want a subcompact that punches way above its weight class without printing under a t-shirt. At just 5.8 inches long, for 0.3 inches tall, and a razor-thin 1.1 inches wide, it disappears in a holster yet still feels like a real pistol in your hand. The 3.1-inch carbon steel barrel, twisted 110 for 9mm parabellum, feeds from flush 10+1 or extended 12+1 double-stack mags and prints 1.5-inch groups at 15 yards like it's bored with bigger targets. Tipping the scales at a featherweight 17.8 ounces with a high-strength polymer grip module, it laughs at all-day carry while taming snap with smart mass distribution, making it the king of pocket rockets or rapid draws from under a jacket. The magic really kicks in with its striker-fired system, a glassy 5.5-pound trigger that breaks cleaner than most compacts twice its size, a serialized fire control unit that lets you swap grip modules like sneakers to match hand size or state laws, and a nitron-coated stainless slide over a corrosion-proof polymer frame with aggressive texturing that locks in even when your palms are sweating bullets. Glow up with X, Ray 3-day/night sights that pop in dusk or darkness. Add an optional short Picatinny rail on XL or SAS models for a weapon light or laser without ruining the profile. And trust the trigger safety-only design that's drop safe and lightning fast. No external lever to fumble when seconds count, yet fully match legal and competition ready. At an MSRP of just $499 for the base model, the P365 storms the subcompact 9mm throne, delivering capacity and refinement that makes $600 Glock 43X owners question their life choices, undercutting $700 full-size SIG P320s while offering modularity that rivals $800 custom jobs, and fueling a cult following in carry capitals like Tampa, Houston, Phoenix, and Manchester. Sure, it asks more than $350 budget brawlers like the Taurus G2C, which can spook first-timers, and that micro frame means recoil has a sharper voice than your full-size range toy. We're diving deep into the SIG Sauer MPX, the modular marvel that fuses AR-style comfort with piston-driven grit and suppressor sorcery, earning the Spear badge in its latest LT evolution. Born in SIG's New Hampshire forge with Swiss-German DNA running through every cold hammer-forged vein, this platform exploded onto the scene in 2015 and hit new heights in 2022 with a civilian MCX Spear LT, a direct descendant of the U.S. Army's XM7 NGSW winner, crafted in-house for operators, law enforcement, three-gun competitors, and weekend warriors who demand a rifle that swaps calibers like outfits, runs whisper quiet under a can, and dominates from CQB alleys to open hunting fields. Take the 16-inch model. It stretches to 35.5 inches with the stock out, collapses to a tight 26.5 inches for low-profile movement, and rocks a 1:7 twist barrel that tames everything from 5.56 NATO screamers to .300 blackout hush puppies across a standard 30+1 mag. The short-stroke gas piston, borrowed from the MPX playbook, keeps the action cleaner than a direct impingement rifle after a mud bath, especially when you thread on a suppressor, while the 7.9-pound aluminum receiver package soaks up recoil for lightning follow-ups without turning into a slug during room clears. What truly sets the MCX apart is its chameleon soul, a monolithic upper with MLOK real estate, a side-folding stock that locks open or closed, fully ambidextrous controls so lefties never feel left out, and a two-stage matchlight trigger snapping at 4.5 pound to print sub-MOA groups all day. Swap barrels in minutes to jump to 7.62 by 39 or .308. Top the full-length Picatinny with any optic your heart desires, and cap it with SIG's SL muzzle device that mates perfectly with their cans, all while staying 100% semi-auto legal for civilians and ready for NFA fun if you've got the stamp. At an MSRP of $2,566 for the Spear LT, the MCX lords over the premium piston arena, leaving $1,800 DI ARs like the Daniel Defense DDM 4V7 in the dust with true multi-caliber flexibility that usually costs $3,500 in custom shops. Yet sneaking under $2,800 416 Hong Kong dollars clones while carrying battle-proven NGSW pedigree straight from the military pipeline. That elite blend of adaptability and reliability has ignited sales in tactical meccas like Portsmouth, Vegas, Colorado Springs, and Austin, where pros in training know real capability isn't cheap. Of course, perfection demands trade-offs. The sticker shock scares off newbies who'd rather grab a $1,200 PWS 116 Malawin Quatches. Proprietary guts mean you'll need SIG-specific tools for deep tinkering. Early adopters wrestled occasional hiccups with subsonic .300 BLK and the 7.9-pound frame, while a recoil-taming gift can wear on your arms during all-day offhand drills compared to featherweight DI builds. Buckle up because we're tearing into the SIG Sauer P211-GTO, the hammerfire hot rod that's storming the double-stack 1911 scene like a '69 Pontiac screaming down the quarter mile, earning its GTO moniker for that raw, unfiltered rush of speed and power. Fresh off the assembly line in SIG's New Hampshire stronghold, where Swiss-German wizardry crashes into American muscle, this beast dropped at the 2025 Next event in June, an in-house evolution of the classic P211 that's ditching single-stack shackles for a full-on 2011 hybrid vibe. No outside help needed, just pure SIG DNA tuned for USPSA speed demons, IDPA tacticians, precision junkies, and collectors who live for that timeless 1911 soul wrapped in modern firepower. At 8.1 inches long, 5.5 inches tall, and a competition-friendly 1.5 inches wide, it threads the needle between full-size authority and whip-quick handling. The 4.4-inch carbon steel bull barrel, rifled 110 for 9mm Luger, hurls rounds to 1,200 frames per second while locking down 115 to 147 grain projectiles across 21+1 or 23+1 P320 steel mags, and unloaded at 37 ounces with a stainless steel frame and alloy grip module. It plants like an anvil to devour recoil, yet stays light on its feet for blistering stage. Transitions in sub-1-inch groups at 25 yards. What catapults the P211 GTO into the winner's circle is its race-proven arsenal. A flat, skeletonized single-action trigger snapping at a glassy 3.5 pounds, fused to the game-changing Mach 3D compensator. 3D, printed black magic that vents gases skyward and backward to gut muzzle flip by up to 50%, turning splits into fractions of a heartbeat and trajectories into laser lines. The nitron-finished stainless frame with full dust cover and built-in rail shrugs off the elements and invites a light if you're feeling tactical, while the aggressively serrated SIG Light Pro slide, optic ready for Romeo X or whatever red dot floats your boat, racks one-handed like it's polite, and XRAY 3-day/night sights keep your point of aim glowing through dawn patrols or dusk duels. Ambi-thumb safety and slide release mean no excuses for southpaws. The full-length grip module with Hogue G10 panels points instinctively, and that P320 mag compatibility plus accessory base plates let you hot rod it into a fully modular monster. All semi-auto legal, of course, with grip and firing pin safeties to keep the range officers smiling. At an MSRP of $2,399 for the base or $2,799 with a factory Romeo X optic, the P211 GTO flexes premium muscle in the 2011 arena, slicing under $3,500 Staccato XC Customs with its baked-in comp and seamless P320 synergy that Springfield's $2,000 prodigy can only dream of, while schooling $1,800 Canic SFX rivals on that buttery hammer-fired trigger and heirloom build quality backed by SIG's ironclad lifetime warranty. Early hype is electric in comp crucibles like Vegas, Houston, Phoenix, and Portsmouth, where USPSA locals are already whispering about stage-crushing potential and that addictive flat-shooting rhythm. But let's keep it real. No gun's flawless. The premium price tag walls off casual plinkers eyeing $1,000 entry-level 1911s. The double-stack girth might feel chunky for slim holsters or appendix carry dreams. And while the comp works wonders, it adds a hair of length that could snag on draws or demand extra cleaning after hot sessions. The SIG Sauer P322 stands as a groundbreaking rimfire pistol, a rimfire rocket that stuffs 20+1 rounds of affordable fun into a suppressor-ready package and keeps the grin glued to your face from sunup to sundown. Forged in SIG's New Hampshire playground with that Swiss-German obsession for detail fused to American backyard ingenuity, this 2021 in-house gem skipped the collab drama and went straight for the hearts of weekend can crushers, new shooters honing fundamentals, rimfire challenge rookies, and squirrel snipers who demand a pistol that runs quiet, runs cheap, and runs forever. At a tidy 7 inches long, 5.5 inches tall, and 1.4 inches wide, It slips into a pocket or range bag, yet stretches the grip for real hand feel. The 4-inch carbon steel barrel. Twisted 1/16 for .22 long rifle. Flings 40 grain pills to 1,000 frames per second and devours everything from bulk blister packs to match-grade bricks. With a flush 20+ 1 double-stack mag or optional 25-round extensions that turn the range into a lead hose. Unloaded at just 17.1 ounces with a high-strength polymer frame. It laughs at fatigue while still soaking up that gentle rimfire kiss, letting you rip doubles, transitions, and steel plate symphonies without ever looking for the reset button. The magic is in the details that make plinking feel premium. A butter-smooth blowback system with last-round bolt hold open that shrugs off suppressors like they're part of the family. A factory-threaded barrel adapter ready for your favorite can. No tools, no fuss. And a nitron-coated aluminum slide over a corrosion-proof polymer grip module that swaps flat or curved triggers at 5 pounds crisp to match your vibe. Ambi slide release and mag catch keep lefties in the game. Fiber optic front and U-notch rear sights snap to target in daylight or dusk. And the slide's optic-ready plate drops red straight on with 0 adapters or drama. Toss in P320 holster compatibility for lights, extended base plates, or whatever flavor you're craving, and you've got a customization playground that stays 100% semi-auto legal. At an MSRP of $499 for the base model, the P322 detonates the rimfire value bomb, matching $400 Ruger SR-22 capacity while schooling $300 Walther P226 with a threaded barrel and optic cut usually reserved for $600 plus grown-up guns like the S&W MP22 Compact, all while sipping pennies per shot ammo that keeps the safe queen fund intact. That irresistible combo has lit up sales in plinking meccas like Phoenix, Houston, Boise, and Portsmouth, where youth programs, steel leagues, and backyard ranges treat it like the gateway drug to lifetime shooting addiction. Of course, honesty check. The $499 tag still towers over $200 Heritage Rough Rider revolvers, which can spook absolute beginners on a ramen budget, and early adopters occasionally wrestled feed hiccups with the cheapest bulk blister pack ammo, usually cured by a 200-round break-in or swapping to CCI mini-mags. Holster options lean heavily on SIG or Comtac for perfect fit, so off-the-shelf variety is thin. The polymer frame telegraphs a bit more snap than all-metal classics during 500-round marathons, and the 17.1-ounce featherweight can feel almost toyish if you're stepping down from a 9mm duty brick. We're glassing the SIG Sauer Cross TRAX, the ultralight bolt-action beast that's got spot and stock pros and varmint vigilantes calling it the ultralight hunter for good reason. Born in late 2023 from SIG's New Hampshire R&D wizardry, this in-house spin on the groundbreaking 2020 Cross platform ditches the fluff for minimalist American grit, laced with Swiss-German DNA, 0 external handouts needed. And it's laser-focused on mobile marauders who hump steep timber or alpine ridges without turning their pack into a penalty box. Stretched to a svelte 36 inches with the stock out, but folding down to a backpack-friendly 26 inches, it goes through tight brush or high-elevation glassing sessions while the 16-inch stainless steel barrel, button rifled at 110 for .308 Winchester, hurls 150 to 180 grain slugs past 2,500 frames per second to ethically drop game inside 300 yards, slurping from standard AICS mags and 5 or 10-round flavors for buttery feeds every time. Tipping the scales at a ridiculous 6.1 pounds unloaded, the 7075 T6 aluminum chassis soaks up .308 bark without the whippy flex of true featherweights, letting you shoulder it lightning fast for that fleeting coyote silhouette or whitetail ghost in the gray light, all while feeling like a real rifle in your mitts instead of twig. What catapults the TRAX into legend territory is its no-BS fusion of hunting heart and tactical smarts. A slick push-feed 3-lug bolt with a low-profile knob that cycles glove-friendly and snag-free. An AR-inspired modular receiver with black anodizing that mates to a minimalist Rattler pistol grip and ambi thumb safety for southpaw symmetry, and an 11.5-inch skeletonized MLOK handguard that's begging for bipods, slings, or a thermal without adding ounces. Dial in the leg bone folding stock's adjustable cheek riser and length of pull for wonky-prone shots. Snap the two-stage flat trigger at a crisp 3 pounds to etch sub-MOA groups with match fodder, and thread that 5/8 by 24 muzzle for your favorite can a turn stock's whisper silent. Topped off with a full-length Picatinny rail that shrugs at any optic or night vision rig. All bolt action pure to keep the feds happy and the range officers nodding. At an MSRP of $1,529, the TRAX crashes the ultralight party like a value king, slicing under $2,200 carbon-wrapped unicorns like the Proof Research Elevation with its plug-and-play modularity that Tikka's $1,000 T3X Lite can only envy, while schooling $1,000 Bergara B14 HMRs on AR ergonomics and packable punch usually locked behind $1,800 hybrid paywalls. Backed by SIG's lifetime, no receipts, warranty that laughs at resale worries. That killer combo has sparked a wildfire in hunting havens like Boise's Backwoods, Missoula's Mountains, Roanoke's Ridges, and Manchester's Predator Patches, where mobile seasons demand gear that hauls ass without hauling you down. Earning a 2024 Editor's Choice nods for blending sub-MOA snap and suppressor synergy that shifts poi predictably but stays laser consistent. But let's keep the powder dry and the BS low. No rifle's a unicorn. The $1,529 sticker slaps harder than $700 Henry Long Rangers for greenhorn budgets, even with .308's ammo aisle ubiquity. That stubby 16-inch tube trades 100 to 150 frames per second on heavies for velocity, nudging groups a hair wider past 300 if you're stretching ethical limits. The minimalist stock skips full palm swells, so bigger paws might gripe during offhand barges. Proprietary bolt bits bulk at some aftermarket trigger sans adapters. And the satin barrel finish, tough as nails, still begs elbow grease and swampy squats to dodge, stringing with bolt plinkers. Weighing in around 6.8 pounds scoped in some configs, it tames recoil like a champ, but might echo louder unsuppressed than you'd whisper to a buck, and limited stock swaps keep you in SIG's yard for deep customs. Straight talk from range dogs and field testers. This TRAX shines for the dedicated alpine assassins who clock miles over bench-rest mirages. Proving lightweight doesn't mean lightweight on ethics or eats. It's the cross evolution that packs big game thunder into a day hike dream. Ready to redefine your next ridgeline redemption without the weight of the world on your shoulder. We're firing up the SIG Sauer P220, the OG Swiss classic that kicked off the double-action revolution back when disco was still cool and handguns were figuring out how to be both safe and lightning fast. Born in the early 70s from a powerhouse Swiss-German tag team between Schweizerische Industrie Gesellschaft and JP Sauer & Sohn, this beast first saluted the Swiss Army in 1975 as the Pistole 75 in 9mm. Then crossed the pond in '77 wearing a Browning BDA badge before SIG planted its flag in New Hampshire and made it American royalty. We're talking a .45 ACP warhorse built for duty cops, military lifers, steel-banging competitors, and collectors who worship proven steel over polymer hype. Because when you want a sidearm that's seen deserts, jungles, and decades of service without flinching, the P220 doesn't just answer the call, it wrote the playbook. At 7.7 inches long, 5.5 inches tall, and a slim 1.4 inches wide, it fills the hand like it was custom molded for control freaks. The 4.4-inch carbon steel barrel, rifled 116 for .45 ACP, launches 230 grain slugs at 850 frames per second with authority, cycling flawlessly through an 8+1 single stack mag via short recoil locked breech magic that eats any quality ammo without complaint. Unloaded at 30.4 ounces with a forged 7075 T6 aluminum frame, it plants like a tank to swallow muzzle flip during rapid strings, yet stays balanced enough for all-day holster duty without turning your hip into a bruise factory. Dropping 2-inch groups at 25 yards like it's showing off for the camera. What cements the P220 as timeless isn't gadgets, it's genius. That legendary DA/SA trigger gliding from a 10-pound double action first pull to a glass crisp 5-pound single action follow-up. paired with a frame-mounted decocker that drops the hammer safely faster than you can say administrative handling. We're talking a 4-layer safety suite: firing pin block, intercept notch, trigger bar disconnector, and decocker that laughs at drops, bumps, and butterfingers, all wrapped in a nitron-coated stainless slide over an anodized alloy frame that shrugs off rust, sweat, and years of abuse. The beaver tail and checkered front strap lock your grip high and tight. SIG Light Night sights glow through blackout drills. An Elite or Legion variance toss in a Picatinny rail for lights. Tungsten-infused grips for extra flatness, or even SRT trigger upgrades. All semi-auto compliant. No NFA nonsense. Just pure, upgradable reliability. At an MSRP of $1,099 for the standard full size, the P220 commands respect in the .45 ACP arena, blowing past $600 polymer S&WM and P45S with all-metal sole and a DA/SA dance smoother than most $1,500 custom 1911s, while sneaking under $1,200 Beretta 92 FS prices with ergonomics that feel like cheating. Its battle-proven bones mean less babysitting, fewer replacement parts, and a resale value that ages like fine whiskey, fueling cult demand in firepower capitals like SIG's hometown Portsmouth, law enforcement-heavy Houston, desert training Phoenix, and military-adjacent San Diego. Sure, perfection has edges. The $1,099 tag towers over $400 budget .45S like the Taurus PT1911, which can spook newbies. Single stack 8+1 capacity feels vintage next to 15-round double stack wonders, and that 30.4-ounce steel and aluminum frame, while a recoil taming gift might tire smaller shooters or appendix carriers during 10-hour shifts. The decocker demands training to master, and aftermarket support leans toward function over flair compared to 1911 Mod Madness. The SIG Sauer M17. The striker-fired king that dethroned the Beretta M9 and became the U.S. military's new sidearm after the brutal modular handgun system trials. Born in SIG's New Hampshire factory where Swiss-German precision meets American grit, this full-size 9mm is essentially a battle-hardened P320 evolution built entirely in-house. No external partners, no compromises. It's the go-to for soldiers, cops, competitive shooters, and civilians who want proven duty-grade performance whether they're on patrol, punching paper, or protecting the homestead. At 8.2 inches long, with a 4.7-inch barrel, it strikes that sweet spot between commanding presence for taming recoil and slick ergonomics for lightning-fast draws. The Coyote Tan PVD-coated stainless slide laughs off rust and extreme climates, while the aggressive stippled polymer grip keeps you locked in even with sweaty palms. Swap grip modules, slides, or even calibers in seconds thanks to the serialized fire control unit. No tools, no hassle. You get ambidextrous controls, a crisp 5.5-pound striker trigger with manual thumb safety, SIG Light Night sights, a removable optics plate for the Romeo 1 red dot, and a Picatinny rail ready for your favorite light or laser. Capacity? 17+1 standard, or bump it to 21 with extended mags, all cycling 124-grain NATO rounds smoothly at over 1,100 feet per second. Out of the box, it'll print sub-2-inch groups at 25 yards, and it's passed every MILSTD drop, dust, and temperature torture test the Army could throw at it. On the street, the civilian base model carries an MSRP of $749, firmly mid-tier, cheaper than custom Glock 34 MOS builds pushing $1,200, yet loaded with military coatings and modularity, you'd normally pay $1,500 for on something like an FN 509 Tactical. It smokes the $650 Beretta 92X in capacity and optic-ready convenience, and SIG's lifetime warranty keeps long-term costs laughably low. That MHS pedigree drives massive demand near every major base. Think Portsmouth, New Hampshire, San Diego, California, Fayetteville, North Carolina, Colorado Springs, Colorado, where ranges and PXs can't keep them in stock. Strengths? Unmatched modularity, bomb-proof reliability, and optics ready out of the gate. Downsides? The $749 tag stings compare to $500 budget strikers like the S&W M and P9. Proprietary parts can complicate third-party holsters or sights. The trigger has a hint of creep versus glass rod 1911s, and nearly 30 ounces unloaded means fatigue on all-day carry compared to featherweight subcompacts. Still, for pros who need a pistol that adapts to any mission and survives hell, the M17 reigns supreme, battle-tested, future-proof, and ready for whatever you throw at it. And that's the lineup, 15 SIGs that cover every mission from plinking cans to punching paper to protecting the free world. Each one earns its keep through real-world abuse and range glory. Drop your personal favorite in the comments. Tell me which one you trust your life to, or just empty the bank for. If this rundown fired you up, smash that like, share it with your range buddies, and tap the bell so you're first in line for the next deep dive. Stay frosty out there, keep training, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.